Hello, everybody, and welcome to podcast. I think it's 27.
Yeah, 27
Is
sounds
it
about right.
27, 28, 27? It is Keegan and Marcus coming at you. It has been a while, and shit has happened in the meantime. The U.S. left
Yeah.
Afghanistan. Marcus quit his job. I started a new job. The U.S. left Afghanistan. I don't know if I mentioned that one. That one's kind of a big deal. I moved. Keegan moved across the country. Kind of a big deal. Less of a big of a deal that the U.S. left Afghanistan, which is a big deal. Don't know if I mentioned that, but the U.S. left Afghanistan. This is post event that was. So, but yeah, Marcus, how you been?
9/11. I don't know. Obviously.
Did you mention that the U.S. left Afghanistan? Because that was kind of a big deal.
No, I did not. Breaking news: the U.S. left Afghanistan. If you didn't know,
If
if
you're
you've had
getting
your
your
head
news
up,
from us, you're in a bad spot. But
yeah,
yeah,
you've
but the U.S.
probably
left
just been staring at a
Afghanistan.
wall for like 6 weeks.
Hey, fair. Marcus, what have you been up to though, other than the U.S. leaving Afghanistan?
Um, White single boy summer for a little bit. Um, yeah,
Hoeing
so
it
that
up.
was fun. Yeah, kind of, but not. I mean, to a little bit. There's more, but like, I'm not. We're not going to talk about that right now. Don't mind me just pulling off my pants and putting shorts on. Not that you can visualize, see it, but you can visualize it if you want. I do have boxers on,
Says
so
Homeboy
I am
Summer, takes his pants off.
not out. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mind
Just put
either.
your pants on, dude.
So yeah. What else is new? I don't know. I don't think that's anything.
Dude, put your pants on.
Okay. Okay.
This is a hell of a
So
start, dude, I gotta say.
what else?
2 minutes in, I already got your
It
pants off.
is.
Side note,
Let me guess. U.S. left Afghanistan.
it did. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Also,
Also, they
if you
sell
like
natural
getting
light in
messed
the
up,
state of Colorado, so that's a big deal. Hmm?
oh, that's awesome. I was gonna say the cure to all hangovers is Pedialyte. Because every time I drink Pedialyte
Oh.
after getting super hammered, I'm fine. The one day I don't drink Pedialyte because I have other things going on, people to take care of, and a whole slew of things. I don't drink it, and I wake up hungover. So yeah,
Do you drink it the night before or the morning of?
I drink it the night before. So like before I go to bed, I'll drink it. I'll drink like
And
at least a half-liter container, if not maybe more. And sometimes I'll drink a little bit before I go out too.
do you have a favorite flavor? Is it the orange flavor? I've seen a lot of people drink the orange. But do you have a favorite?
I,
Or a preferred, I should say?
there's a cherry pomegranate. I think that's my favorite. Otherwise there's like berry something. It's blue. That's okay. Really anyone?
How's the unflavored?
Fucking terrible. I was just gonna get to that. Usually they're all about like Pedialyte things. So actually coconut. No thanks. Some people complain about Pedialyte
Mm.
being terrible or tasting terrible. It's whatever. I like it. However, coconut and unflavored, no bueno. So
Not good. I bet the
yeah,
unflavored is for mixing into things though. Like I feel like
yeah.
that's that niche.
I hate this in
So
my
what you been up
protein.
to, dude? Like been drinking Pedialyte, been getting drunk apparently more than
Um,
0 times if you're talking about
yeah,
multiple hangover
yeah,
cures.
yeah. Um,
Make sure you're speaking
I
of
ran
your
nine
microphone
miles.
too. It's really makes for a great podcast when you're hard to hear.
Yes.
Are you on your
I
headset
ran nine
microphone or are you
miles
on the
one
actual
day.
microphone?
I'm on my headset microphone right now. I was just kind of like scrambling to get
Oh,
this
okay.
sorted
Okay.
because I have to try and fix this hole in the wall before our landlord comes over tomorrow. But I ran like 9 miles one day because I told my son Joe, "Hey, whatever you run, I'm going to run more than you because I'm pissed off at you." Because I took it as a slight that he was going to run for 60 minutes, so he ran 7 miles, so I'd run 9. Uh, yeah, that's really, I mean, like, white boy summer, I guess, a little bit, but I'm not going to disclose that information because I don't think that held against me. So, yeah, what about you? How about you,
You don't want
Keegan?
that recorded?
Yeah, how about that?
Since our previous podcast, I have moved from central Wisconsin to western Colorado, which is only an 18-hour drive. On our way out, we discovered that the main highway that cuts across Colorado was actually closed due to a mudslide, so we got to detour around that. The new apartment is fantastic. The new job
That's
is fine. I have since applied and interviewed at 2 jobs, and I'm excited to hear back from them. But the new job is pretty great. I do heavy chemistry for a military contractor, so we were doing rust testing on some parts, and I had to get a key to get into our rust tester because there was a grenade launcher in there. So that was fun. But I mostly hang out. We do
Is that the
4 10-hour shifts.
M320 you were talking about?
It is the M320 I was talking about. The M320 is the single-shot grenade launcher for the U.S. military, and we make that. We are one of the primary contractors that make that. I'm gonna leave that part out because if I say what we make, I have to leave out who we are. If I say who we are, I have to leave out what we make. That's part of the confidentiality. But yeah, we make all sorts of shit. But we make barrels for a lot of different rifles. We make those M320s. We make a lot of different braces and mounts for a lot of things. And I am one of the 2 chemists that is called in for any time people need to do more than a little bit of math, and any time that acid is involved. We use a lot of sulfuric acid, of which everyone is terrified, and I am not, because I'm a biochemist, not just a chemist. So I know that it doesn't eat people, but the caustic soda that we use all the time does. So I'm scared of that when no one else is. It's a horse apiece, but it's fun. I've interviewed at 2 jobs, and I would love to take a different position because this one don't pay for shit, oddly enough. But we'll see. Having 7 hours a day to yourself ain't too bad.
That's okay.
Exactly.
Do you listen to sea shanties when you're by yourself?
I've been listening to a phenomenal amount of YouTube, like an obscene amount. So I start my morning. I get there at 5 a.m. and I actually do chemistry, and I actually do the thing I'm hired to do for about 2 hours. Take all the samples, run all the tests. They're pretty simple titrations. All the math is figured out. You just got to plug the one number in. It's pretty nice. And while I do that, I usually listen to Spotify, listen to some music, hang out, jam out. By about 7 o'clock, we have our morning meeting. I'm done with all of the work I need to do that day. So I only have 8 more hours to sit there. At that point, I usually start to listen to podcasts or stream clips, which are usually more involved. Watch the video, listen, see what they're talking about, get a little more background information. I've been listening to a lot of Hasanabi or Hassan Piker. He's a political commentator. I know you and Max probably. He's pretty fun.
Yeah.
He does a good job giving background to stuff, but he's a hard lefty.
Yeah, Joe loves it.
If you haven't figured out at this point in this podcast, I'm the one hard lefty of the 3 of us. I know Marcus is kind of on the fence, but Max is pretty right. But I'm the lefty, and I like to listen to lefty shit. So I listen to him, listen to some Vaush, who's even further left, and just kind of hang out. I started bringing a book. I was reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which I get to about 100 pages in, and I've hit a wall about twice. So I'm going to switch books, come back to it. So I'm reading the Tao Te Ching, which I got from Patrick, which is the other member of the UWSP Men's Rugby Club Book Club. So, yeah, we're starting that on Tuesday, which is tomorrow.
So,
Very excited.
so you just you can't just be hanging out for the rest of the day, are you? Or what do you like? What do you do besides listen to podcasts? If you're at liberty to say.
I hang out. That's it. Like, so so there's two of us. There used to be one of us, and it would have been a lot for one person, but for two people, I do all of the things that need to be done in a scheduled way.
Okay.
So if there's weekly tests or daily tests, I take those samples and I run those tests.
Okay.
So I go, hey, this is good for the week, whatever. And there's a bunch of things like that, but I usually can get done with that. Over 2 days, it usually takes me 4 hours to get all of those done.
Okay.
And there's some that need to be run every day, so I do those, and that maybe takes an hour. And then I'm just kind of on call, but on site, if that makes sense. I sit in a little office, and people come to me and say, hey, my blah-de-blah isn't working. I go over, I take a sample, and I go, oh yeah, it's fucked up because of this. I add X chemical, and then it works. And then it works, and I just sit on my phone again for another hour
So
or
is
two.
that why you don't get paid as much? Because like a lot of it's just like hanging around, or like not a lot.
I
I
think...
don't. I want to try and rephrase it so it doesn't sound like that, but I can't feel good right now. So
No, you're right. You're right, though. Like, if I was doing chemistry all day that no one else could do, I would get paid a bunch more. But this chemistry, it was designed in such a way that you don't need a chemist to do
okay.
it. Like, I could have been the person that designed this for a horse to do. So to execute it, you just need to be smart enough to make like a cheesy gordita crunch at Taco Bell. Like if you could work in a restaurant, like in the kitchen, you could work as a chemist. And that's all chemistry is if you can follow the recipe, you can perform chemistry very, very, very easily. It's not complicated. It's precise work, but it's not complicated work. Like Marcus, I could train you to do my job right
Okay.
now. If you gave me an hour, I could train you to do my job without errors.
It's pretty cool.
Totally. And all of the back work. It's very not difficult.
Okay. I got you.
And that's why I'm looking for a different job, is because if I'm just sitting there for 7 hours a day, I will go nuts. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
So,
Just like being bored all day definitely doesn't help anything. Even if you're like getting paid to not do
no.
a whole lot, like it gets old after a while. I mean, like it's nice to have those
I'm
breaks,
just
but
mad. I'm just mad by the end of the day. Like, even if you're working a hard job, you can take your breaks. But, like, at the end of one of these days, I'm just, like, mad. Because I feel like I wasted 6 hours of my life.
okay,
And I don't want to get paid to waste hours of my life. I want to get paid to make the world
yeah,
a better place. And I can't do that at a place that makes grenade launchers. And that's why I'm
okay,
pursuing a different job. Because even if things go perfectly, I'm making a grenade launcher, which is going to kill people. So, morally, I want to not work there.
yeah. I mean, like
Looking for a different spot.
I don't think I would have a problem with that, but like obviously, like we're different people, so I mean, like to each their own. So, as in like the grenade launcher
Yeah.
part, like obviously sitting around after a while doing
Like,
nothing will get boring. So,
but we make cool shit. Like, I can't argue there. Like, we make fun. Like, as a dude, it's like we make awesome fucking shit. Like the stuff we make is
yeah,
dope. We make grenade launchers. We make barrels. We make all this super high end precision stuff. And then I work in a high end precision area. And we do the finishing on that. We make sure it works. And so we do a lot of cool stuff. But like morally, so like my background is that I was going to be pre-med for forever, and my goal was to extend and enhance human life. I wanted to make people live longer and better. And I still do, but I don't think I can do that directly. I don't want to be a medical
yeah.
doctor. But by building grenade launchers, that is the opposite direction that I want to
Well,
go. And that's just
continue.
like it's morally, ethically, I don't want to do that. Like I want to make people live longer, not end dramatically in a explosion from a very convenient handheld and well finished. I gotta say, they're immune to smoke and to like salt fog, which is what we do. It's basically like they're exposed to the ocean. Like they do great. We're really good at what we do, but it's the end goal of this whole process is making something that kills
Um,
people, and I don't want to be a part of that
yeah.
anymore.
I
So
mean,
I made a new
it
job.
does extend some people's lives, not everyone's.
But overall, it's just it. I realized though I've been thinking about it a lot and lifting to the lefty side of like media. It's like, well, what does the U.S. military do? It's like we occupy a lot of bases around the U.S. and around the world, and we kill brown people. And I'm kind of done being part of that.
Um,
Objectively, that's
Yeah.
what we do. We go to the Middle East, and for the last 20 years, we've killed people that their skin, they were just really tan all the time, and we killed them because they spoke a different language and prayed to the same God in a different way. And I didn't want to be a part of that
That's not
anymore.
good. Or and drugs, but um,
But that's not an excuse. That's an extra reason that we shouldn't have been there. If we're
um,
only doing it because we have gas and oil, what the fuck, dude? If I can pay $3.50 instead of $3 a gallon, but know that nobody died for me to fill up my fucking car, I feel like that's worth it, and that's the difference we were looking at.
okay. Like
I would much rather have buses to take me to work than to have to like either A, kill brown people, or B, shoot super pressurized hydraulic fluids into the earth to break the bedrock, the foundation of our society, to release various oils and gases to run my fucking car. Like, dude, I'll drive my bike. It's okay.
good on you.
Are you are you smelling what I'm stepping in? Are we gonna get canceled because I'm saying this?
No,
Like, dog, like it's not that important that I can go 80 miles an hour. I can go slower. I can leave earlier. We don't need to kill all the brown people.
okay.
Now you're thinking about it. Now you're thinking about it. You're feeling bad because you know I'm right.
Damn it.
And he's laughing.
Um, I guess you could argue, like, if you wanted to argue, you could talk to like someone like Tim Kennedy with it for like Africa to help with like foreign groups too. But like, yeah, I guess like when you join the military, you sign up to kill people. So
But like going to Africa to help and like fighting pirates and tyranny there is different because when you go to Africa and you build a school and they attack the school, you're defending the school. So that's objectively
yeah,
better. But when we go to Iran or Afghanistan, we're not defending a school. We didn't build infrastructure there. We didn't build roads. We didn't build pre-K little schools for everybody. Yeah, we improved the women's rights and we improved a lot of stuff, but we didn't build anything. We just were trying to murder all of the people that didn't like us so we could take the minerals there. Afghanistan is sitting on multiple trillion dollars of mineral rights. That's like we read the emails. That's a reason we were there, was to take their natural resources. And now China is moving in on our tail as we leave to do the exact same fucking thing. It's fucking fucked. You're a history major, you know this. This might be the most woke podcast on the fucking internet for the last 10 minutes.
yeah, you could say so. I'm just like staring at a wall. Like I wasn't envisioning this, so I mean that's okay though.
Retrospectively, the entire war in the Middle East was a fucking waste. We wasted $8 trillion and multiple thousands of lives on our end and theirs so we could drive around for cheaper.
I wonder.
Like, you don't. I don't think you can bike.
I wonder. Okay, so I wonder if you took, if there's an equation you could create where you funnel in the amount of the amount of money the U.S. government spent on war in Afghanistan, and if you could funnel that in and like compare it to like what we would have paid more, like the God damn it, I'm having a hard time with this now. So you compare that to what we would have had to pay if there wasn't a war. I wonder what it would be like.
Well, to be fair, we caused that war in the first place.
Yeah.
Back when Reagan funded the
Yes.
Mujahideen to form a Vietnam for the Soviets, which worked because the Soviet Union ceased to exist. But then we got sucked into the same fucking trap by Bush and his infinite wisdom. It's like, we did this to ourselves. There's estimates that we caused like $8 trillion worth of cost or whatever. That would have funded 4 high-speed rail systems in the entirety of the U.S. I much would have rather had high-speed rail. Do you know how much I wanted to visit L.A. for like $7 on a train? That would have been great.
But like the thing is, like, how many people are going to use that? That's what I'm thinking. Like, I know, like, obviously the U.S. like
China has the best high-speed rail in the on Earth, and they use it all the fucking time.
But
How many times would you have gone to LA if it was $7?
Okay.
If it was $50 to go from New York to LA? How many times have you been to fucking
but
LA?
I'm saying a lot of people like driving on their own time, driving their big lifted trucks, whatever they want.
Because people in America are dumb. Lifted trucks are stupid, objectively, and they look dumb. Hey, I'm calling you out. I'm grabbing a microphone dramatically. Anyone with a giant lifted truck for no ass reason? Fuck you. But like, imagine if you had high-speed rail across the U.S. and you're like, oh, I could go from Fargo to Seattle in like a day, and I would sleep on the train. I'll leave at 1 in the morning and get there at 1 in the morning and get out, get in a hotel, and just like have a normal trip and be awesome. For how much? $50? And that's like really expensive? That's awesome. Like, high-speed rail is objectively more efficient than any other way to move freight across the U.S., including humans. High-speed rail is amazing. But we just don't fucking do it because we're idiots. We think cars are better, but they're not. Like, think of how much more efficient a bus is than a car. But a train is like 100 times more efficient than a fucking bus. Don't quote me on that. I'm an idiot. But, like, still. How many times would we have gone as a team, like think of a rugby team, like how many tournaments are in Seattle that we could have gone to, just cause, like, why not? Like, take the right train over? Like, that's not hard.
I mean, like, me and Joe went to Seattle, I think we only paid $80 round trip. Or just...
And had a great time. It was amazing. Like, imagine if we just had the infrastructure to travel from one coast to the other just really easily. For cheap as shit. And efficiently. And, like, more efficient than planes. It would be amazing. But no, we had to spend 4 times that to decimate an entire, like, area of the U.S. or an area of the world and not even win. Everyone's mad at us. All we did was have an opioid epidemic because we had heroin.
I mean,
if this is news to you, you guys should look up the fucking opioid, the opium, like, production from Afghanistan and Iran and Iraq from before and after we started there. Because it fucking quadrupled. It was dramatically increased. Like, you can't even argue that fact. We made opium go like crazy. We got green thumbs as shit. It was awesome. And weird, all the poor white people got addicted to fucking heroin from Afghanistan. That's exactly what fucking happened. It's like the CIA did it to some other country, but they did it here. It's nuts.
I know, like, Wausau hometown is a big heroin problem. You wouldn't, like, guess,
Dude,
but...
The entire state of Wisconsin is a fucking heroin problem. You get the heroin highway. It's known as the heroin highway. All the opioids, like there was a multi-billion-dollar settlement from some of those companies that had those. Like, what was that big company? Let me look it up. This was a lot of me talking, but I'm like we're covering woke ass topics, so I don't feel that bad. Purdue Pharma is dissolved, and the Sacklers pay $4.5 billion in a settlement claim. Which is not the last, and it's not the end of that. This one, drug companies say enough. United States joined $26 billion opioid settlement claim. $26 billion. Shit's ridiculous. That's all based on production of opium from fucking Afghanistan.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Shit's fucked. We should have been gone 20 years ago. We should never have gone. Shooting brown people has never solved any problem. But yeah, other than that, we haven't, I don't know. It's hard to follow up
You
that type of
can't.
news.
Let's just come out and say you can't really, unless you have some other idea, like what's super. Let's go with woke, yeah, as well.
But it's just sad. The whole thing's just sad.
Texas is sad.
Oh my god.
That's terrible.
For those who aren't in the know, they effectively banned abortion. So they passed what they called the heartbeat bill, which banned any abortion after 6 weeks, which is when the initial fetal heartbeat is formed. Unfortunately, that is not the actual heartbeat. That is a preliminary heartbeat that allows the movement of blood through the fetus while the actual heart forms. So that heartbeat's actually like a false heartbeat. But they still banned it outright. Another sad fact about that is that most pregnant women don't find out within 6 weeks. So they effectively banned abortion because in theory a period would come every, I think it's like 4
Maybe
weeks or
5 at the
so.
latest.
At 2 weeks, maybe 5 at the latest. If you're stressed, it's another week. Like it's that variable. And so within 6 weeks, it's not outside the normal range of expecting pregnancy or another period. So they effectively banned abortion in the state of Texas. There's been a lot of outcry in the so Roe versus Wade has essentially been struck down because the Supreme Court struck or failed to strike down that law, and they did it at like 1 in the fucking morning because there's a Republican supermajority. So they just didn't strike it down, even though Roe versus Wade has been held since the 70s.
Isn't it a 5-4
It's been held as a constitutional right.
lead?
It was not a 5-4. I think it was like a 6-3.
Okay.
Because Republicans hold a supermajority because Mitch McConnell played the judge game, and they withheld Obama the right to put on a very middle ground judge, and then they fought very difficultly to put all of Trump's judges on, even though Amy Coney Barrett had literally no judge experience. And what the fuck was that other fuckhead's name? Pardon my French, by the way. It was Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, Brett Kavanaugh's a joke, and he's going to be on there for about 70 years. But he got up there, hyper conservative. Amy Coney Barrett, hyper conservative. People sleep on Neil Gorsuch as well. He's hyper conservative. There was a couple of pushes from before, but Mitch McConnell did a very good job of stacking the judges. Not in that he put judges in, but he refused to put judges in while Obama was in office. So he effectively put those judges in just later. And judges, if you don't know, are a lifetime appointment. So these judges will be in there until we die, until they die. So like Amy Coney Barrett is in her low 40s, upper 50s
I think she's
tops.
45.
You could look that up. Right, but she's going to be in there for the next 50 years. Kind of thing. And it's so that's why they're the Democrat. Yeah, she is 49 years old.
Oh, okay.
She has literally zero judge experience other than on the Supreme Court. Merrick Garland was the name of Obama's nominee, and he was well loved by both sides, as he was very middle ground, fitting the Obama theme. But he actually got sat on by Mitch McConnell, who's actually a turtle, until Obama got out of office, Trump got in office, took that appointment back, and then he put in Brett Kavanaugh, or he put in Neil Gorsuch, actually, who is also super far right. Yep.
Do we know anything like what happens if you go to different states' borders? I'm assuming they can't really do anything.
They can cross legally, but that's also very expensive, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So it's effectively they outlawed abortion in the state of Texas, as well as all the states surrounding Texas immediately are very far right. So if you're going to go from Texas to, say, Louisiana to get an abortion in Louisiana will be very soon illegal, as the Supreme Court failed to defend that constitutional right. The state, which is very far right-leaning, due to poor educational stats, will step that up, and they will ban abortion. So then anyone in Texas will be without the ability to travel to an abortion. So it is definitely a poor tax, as those who are with money have the ability to travel to blue states to get those abortions. Abortions are predominantly a high social class activity. So it is a lot of super high wealthy men, super important men with their mistresses, that they get them pregnant on accident, with air quotes, and then they get an abortion. So it is purely punishing the lower class, and in order to keep them in that lower class. There is some fight against it, as I think it was the church. Is it the Satan Church? What's the name of that? Is it the Temple of Satan? The Satanists, the people that claim Satan as a religious group, they actually claimed that they have a religious right to, I think it's abortogenic medicines. I don't remember exactly. Medicines that they use during abortions. They claim that they had a religious right to them. So there may be a loophole there due to the religious freedoms, especially in Texas. So you might be able to go to a Temple of Satan and get an abortion. So we'll see how that plays out. But that will probably go to the Supreme Court as a religious freedoms question, which they should win. But we'll see. But yeah, it's things on the women's rights front's not looking great right now, especially in Texas.
The Church of Satan isn't terrible, I guess. From what I understand,
What?
the Church of Satan isn't that bad.
Are you saying it is not, or it is that bad?
Like, from what?
Oh yeah, it's people being kind of douchey towards religion, but in a very progressive
like,
way.
Hey, looking at someone else, I guess. And
the Church of Satan is very individualistic and like it's kind of contrarian to social norms in that they're like, yeah, we're pro-abortion, we're pro euthanasia, or like assisted suicide kind of shit, which did actually get a ton of support in Italy, by the way, which is a big thing. But libertarians hate that shit. hmm So the idea of assisted suicide, in theory, it's the ultimate right to fucking kill yourself. Like I'm me, I get to decide what happens to me. In theory, right? Like in theory, but libertarians hate that shit on religious claims. But in a lot of really progressive countries, Italy, Canada, for example, both had really big referendums on it. A lot of places are actually, that's kind of the next step in personal freedoms is assisted suicide, or I believe they call it doctor-aided euthanasia. Right, but it's like it's death pod kind of thing. It's like climb in this little room and you're just gonna fall asleep and then you won't exist anymore.
There would be some paperwork there, but, you know.
Oh, there's a lot of paperwork. Yeah, there's a ton of
As there should
paperwork,
be.
but it's definitely not that complicated.
I mean, like, I don't see why that's an issue. Like, if you're 80 and, you know, you have nothing to live for, and you're, like, by yourself, or you're just tired of living, or you're just not paying, like,
Yeah.
and you're, like, okay mentally, like, you know, like, you're confident, you know what you want, then you should be able to do that.
hmm There's a lot of arguments that you should be able to, and when it comes to the personal freedom argument, there's not a lot of great arguments against it, other than it's a sin, you'll go to hell forever. It's like, well, it's a personal freedom. I get to choose what I want to do. There's a separation between church and state.
Yeah, but, like,
In theory, you should be able to do
I'm
that.
sure there is some point, like, if you're religious too, where you could, like, pull up some shit that contradicts it. So, I don't know. I'm not going to really.
That's the thing with the Bible.
Everything gets.
Here, I gotta like urinate so I don't pee my pants. So I'm gonna let you just hold this for a sec. I'll be right back.
Let's just say that in advance. Hello everyone. This is Marcus speaking. How are you today? If you have any questions or concerns, you can comment and we can talk about them next potentially. Or whenever we do have another podcast. You can get first. Anyways, so yeah, comments, anything like that. If you have anything against us, go for it. Like, I don't care. Opinions are my opinions, sort of. Like, grab. Like, no.
And we're back.
I was just talking about thoughts and opinions and comments.
What was
I was
that?
just talking about thoughts and opinions and comments.
Hey, are you pro-war as a rule or anti-war? Easier question. What is the most pro-veteran stance that you can
What's
take?
the most pro-veteran stance I can take? Helping veterans find jobs. I don't know. That makes it.
You think it's
I
help
think
veteran?
that helps because I don't know.
You know what mine is? I think we should stop making veterans. I think we should stop having war as a part of our economy, and we should stop making people that are brutalized either mentally or physically that need to be supported by the rest of society. I think we should let them live their lives, and we should stop sending them to kill brown people over oil.
Okay.
Are you heading, like, I don't want to call this, like, into, like, an isolationist character, but, I mean, for, like, a foreign policy, are you saying basically, like, it doesn't affect us to stay away from it? Don't.
If there's multiple hundred,
Oh, I was going to say, like, if there's, like, you can avoid conflict, basically. And, like,
there's multiple hundreds of countries on Earth that have effective militaries, that have this social program that is people that want to serve their country in a great way and provide that ultimate sacrifice. They don't have to. Like if you go to Germany, I think in most countries you have to serve for 2 years. I know if you go to say Singapore, you have to serve for 2 years in their national government, in their government, in their army type society where you have to learn to shoot, you have to be physically fit, but you essentially provide 2 years of community service, and then from there on out you get some amount of social service back. You get free healthcare, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But you don't have to shoot people in the face to do that. You just have to be there to defend in case something does happen. And I think that's a much better option than actively seeking out and shooting brown people in the face, which is what the United States of America has been objectively doing for the last 20 years. I'm a little loose and I'm on a roll and I'm a little mad. So that explains my stance on this, but I think the most pro-veteran stance you can take is that we should stop making veterans. That we should make people that were in the Army for 2 years and kind of had an okay time and are just fine.
I think we had a conversation with this before.
I think so too, but I think Max was part of it, and I think he was objectively pro-Army because he was in the Army. But I think if we ask him now, because I talked to him yesterday and he was very mad at the Army for how inefficient, how dumb it was, he might change his tune. Are you playing on your phone?
What? I just kind of summed up it for a sec.
We're not talking about important topics, though, so it's fine.
Oh yeah. I don't know what to say right now. Alicia Rugby starts.
Just gonna change that topic. Do you disagree with me though, or am I just kind of saying it in an angry way, where it's
no,
like, well,
I think I don't think you're saying it in an angry way.
I think what you're going about, like how you're going about it, makes sense. However, I think that's a little too optimistic. So I mean, like,
I would say, yeah, in like the perfect world, like I think that's like understandable, but like obviously every conflict ever has been fought over resources and to be fighting for resources. I think.
why would you say that's so optimistic? In theory, America has an amazing amount of natural resources. Why can't we just kind of do what we need to do? Even if we maintain all of our foreign military bases, all of our foreign presence, our current forests, why do we need to keep sending people to fight? Why do we need to send people to drive around Humvees for 2 years just to blown up?
Why do we want to use our resources when we use other people's resources? Why not exploit other people's resources in calculation for any kind of that? And like exploit that.
But we're exploiting them. Why don't we let them have their resources? We have our resources. If we want some of theirs, we trade some of ours. Like there's peaceful ways to do that. We don't have to maim and murder people
This is very much
just so our gas is cheaper.
This is bringing it back to I don't. You guys probably don't know who this is. I vaguely remember reading about him. This is very much like a Robert Warfield, who's like basically the first British prime minister. He did everything in his power to avoid war because he thought it was bad for trade. And I don't know why this just came in my head. So basically,
As a historian, is war good for trade?
It depends on what you're talking about, because like
depends on what you're trading for, because like it can
Just
be
in
more
general,
finance
like,
and
is
stuff
it
like
good
that.
for the economy?
but at the same time,
You flashed.
At the same time, you could say, okay, so now that you're back,
If-
I was saying like it could ruin like trade
Yeah.
agreements and alliances and stuff like that, which would be inherently bad. But also at the same time, if you're in a war or fighting someone, like if you use the good old fight of World War II, you're having increased production, increased like the population, like more of it's working and it's providing more jobs. However, I guess when the war ends, or like a big ass war like World War II does end, there's a job shortage because you have to like so many people go, so many people are coming back from the military who now don't have jobs. So there's that problem. So I don't know. I'm too wishy washy in the gray to probably give you a good answer. I would say to an extent, yes, it is good to go to war, and I would say to an extent, no, it's not, because human life itself is precious. No, like you have the ability to like, if you wanted to kill yourself, and like you don't want to be here anymore, that's your personal decision. If you're like no one else should be able to tell you that once you're like a cognitive person. Obviously, if you're a child, or obviously if you're not a child, but like obviously like if you've never been exposed to life, aka a fetus, like referring to a fetus, you don't know what life is. You don't know what you're missing, and if you're going to put an economic like a economic strain on someone, worth or rape, like that's not going to be good for anything. So like, I don't know. This is just going all over the place. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have a side
Yeah.
note for you that might interest you.
Right.
So OSHA, not super like far away ago. So OSHA had to figure out how much a human life is worth.
I-
And so they did a lot of complex evaluations and they ran a lot of different things. And so say I go to work at a local construction place and on the first day somebody fucks up and they kill me. I climb up on a ladder, they shake the ladder, I fall and I die. There's a certain amount of value associated with my life. And OSHA figured that out. Here, give me one sec.
I'm gonna put like
There
that.
it is. So it is, according to the EPA, it is $9.1 million. According to the Department of Transportation, it is $9.6 million. So do you think in Russia it varies from $40,000 to $2 million? There's all sorts of different things. But in the U.S., it ranges from $50,000 a year to $129,000 a year to roughly $9.2 million. But do you think at that valuation, it is worth it, economy-wise, to go to war? Because yeah, you make jobs, but you're ending life on our end and on the others.
Not to mention the
Like-
effect that it has on people who still just killed too. And I guess
Right.
yeah, I guess
So you're talking negative effects. You're talking long-term health care.
yeah. And like who knows what happens with those people who are not able to see those people anymore, like your wife or your father,
Mm-hmm.
not to be gender specific, if you want to go there. But like someone who you know loves dies, like that drives you to depression and makes you kill yourself. Yeah, I guess that's also motivation. Obviously, that's looking a little too far to a little niche area, but like it's still a thing. So something to be considered. If it causes a family not to be able to, so like when I'm thinking for like mental health reasons, like you have to go to like a counselor now or something like that. That's not free. Obviously, like I know the U.S. military pays. There's like insurance policy or whatever you get. I'm sure.
But that's like a cost on society. That's not
Yeah.
free.
It's
That's-
it's not free. So, damn it. I guess no, it's not. Which, if you ask me like morally, yeah, I know it's not right to go. If you would have asked me economically, I would be like, yeah, I guess. That's why everything's fought over, but is it worth that much? I know. But like, I think that's too idealist. So,
unfortunately.
Have you recently read 1984, like within the last 3 or 5 years?
I've read 10 pages of it, so I can't say anything.
So, one of the major points in 1984, and Patrick, for the love of God, if you're out there, he's reading it right now. I gave it to him. He's part of the UWSP Men's Rugby Club Book Club, me and him. But I gave him 1984 to read, and I told him, I know if you've read this, but you should read it again. One of the major points in that book is that there's a massive economy in war, not in that you get to only send most of your produced goods to the front lines, but you get to keep most of your citizens at less than what they need. You get to keep them in a net negative. You get to give them the absolute minimum.
Okay.
Instead of anyone living in excess, you get to get a very few people living in excess, and you get to have 95% of the population living at the bare minimum. Selling their pots and pans, rationing sugar, kind of shit.
So yeah, when you said that,
And so, in 1984, it was a massive economy. It was a military industrial complex in that everyone worked for war. They were driven by hatred for the other, whatever that other was. Even in 1984, they're delivering a speech, and it switches halfway through the speech. They go from hating Southeast Asia to hating Africa, or whatever it is. And it's almost a joke in this book where it's like, it doesn't matter who we hate, it's like we hate somebody.
yeah,
And that allows us to keep all these people sad and poor, and that it allows us to keep a large population going out to the front line to die, to keep maintaining our population, keeps our production high because we have to fight against this obscure other. But that's the economy of war.
you're not wrong.
The economy of never-ending war. That's the military industrial complex.
You could say that, you could say that the U.S. is almost in that, though, because we're always trying to find some kind of bullshit, too.
Almost in that? That's exactly where we are.
Yeah.
That's exactly where we are. My job, if we weren't at war, I wouldn't have my job.
You'd probably be doing something else, though. Probably something more worthwhile.
Two-thirds of this podcast, right now, 2/3 of this podcast would be out of work if the war ended. And the military's like, everyone go home, the war's done.
Yeah. I mean, most likely, yeah, I would say. Because, even if we did have, because we still have, National Guard units and stuff out during, emergencies and shit like that. But, still overall, you don't need 1 million people in a standing army. You would only need 50,000 or 100,000 instead. So, yeah, a bunch of people would lose their jobs. Most likely as well.
Right.
Wow.
But even think of when they were talking about socialized medicine, where it's like, oh, this is going to be $80 billion a year. And then they're like, that's too expensive. And then the next week, they expanded the military by $80 billion a year. That's a joke. You want people to survive. You want people to go and fucking die. And, we can do better things with that money.
So for you folks at home, I am just staring up at the wall with my mouth open. It's a little overwhelming, but at the same time,
Marcus got. He's #woke. He took the red pill.
But at the same time, it's good to hear and challenge your beliefs and opinions. So there's that going right now. Yeah, I would say you can definitely tell you've been watching Hassan. That seems like something we talked about too. I haven't watched him in a while, but
I will say, I was pretty left before, but I have better talking points now.
yeah, I would say I mean
I didn't.
you were probably
watching these lefty YouTubers didn't push me for the left. I was definitely the most left in the podcast, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say you were more.
Yeah. I'm lefty, but I think guns are fun. That's the only excuse for me. It's I think.
Yeah, guns are fun.
I'm moderate only because I think guns are entertaining to use, for the same way that I like firecrackers. It's like, oh yeah, this is neat. And if I can point at something and hit stuff, like that's neat. But I don't think that overtakes somebody's ability to feel safe or have health care or do their job and get paid what they need to get paid. Have we talked about the super hard left stance around business, which is also hyper capitalist?
I don't want to go down this road. Oh, I got into it the other day with Joe, and I literally just
You're coming this way,
I
I'm
literally
dragging
just
you,
told him to
fucker.
shut the fuck up, and I walked away because I didn't want to go down there. Oh no, we saved this for a different one.
A different.
Do you know what I'm talking about
Yeah,
though?
I think I know what you're talking about.
So like if your business is entirely dependent on paying people poverty wages, your business is not predicated on successfully selling any goods or adding anything to society, but actually your business is predicated on like taking advantage of the labor of people that cannot do anything else. So you're taking advantage, it's essentially slave labor. So like if I go to fleet like McDonald's or whatever, and you can only afford to pay everyone $7 an hour, your business fucking sucks and should die. Because it does not exist in capitalist society without taking advantage of slave labor. And that's like also a super capitalist but also a super lefty stance on a lot of businesses. So if like your business needs people that work for $2 an hour plus tips, your restaurant shouldn't fucking exist. You should go out of business because fuck you.
Yeah.
You should raise your
So-
prices.
From what I heard, what was it now? Raise your prices. Oh God, I heard something really good probably a month and a half ago. About yeah. So instead of paying for the tip, you should just pay. I don't know. I heard something from some representative, and Joe was talking to me about it, and I heard it, and it made sense.
There's
I
a lot of
totally
ways that
forgot.
you can.
I'm pissed at myself because I don't remember this now, but like it made a lot of sense to me.
There's a lot of ways. If you look at the EU, they have just changed the prices of things, and then they have signs out that say "Don't fucking tip." So instead of adding a 20% tip to everything, there's at least a 20% addition to every various pricing. So if I was gonna have a $12, so I was gonna get like a meal for $12. Instead of being $12 or $10, it'd be $12, and I wouldn't tip.
Yeah. So
But that extra 20% would go to the waiter. They would get paid what they need to get paid, and I just wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But like in the state of Wisconsin, they don't get paid whatever wage plus 20%. In a lot of states, they get paid fucking $2 an hour
I made
plus tips.
$6.50 as a bartender plus tips. I got lucky.
Right.
The waiting's
And
like
it's like-
$4, so I was just like, oh fuck that.
Right. How about we just pay everyone, I don't know, $12, $13, $14 an hour and just not tip?
Yeah.
So prices are prices, and we don't have to fucking worry about it.
Yeah, and then that way there's no
Wouldn't
there's
that be
no
better?
social stigma behind like if you're a good tipper or a bad tipper too. I guess. I mean, like I tip good.
Right. That's just what
But-
they get fucking paid. But people will pull their head out of theirs and be like, "Ooh, but there's the incentive of tipping, people will work harder and then it'll be better. It'll be better
Oh.
service." You know what the best fucking places in the fucking town to get the fucking food is? The places where they pay people what they should get fucking paid.
Yeah.
Katie and I went to a beautiful restaurant on the edge of
Yep.
town, and I guarantee you all those people were getting fucking paid. Because we didn't have to tip. There was a sign outside that said, "Don't fucking tip." And we paid through the fucking nose. It was $12 a fucking drink, and it was amazing, and it was worth every penny. and everyone there got fucking paid, and it was
That's
great.
awesome.
It was perfect. It was a perfect exchange of goods and services. That's how it should work.
So I'm gonna talk about something that really pisses me off because I have firsthand experience.
Dude, we're getting all the airs
Yeah.
out on this podcast. Hey, I'm gonna ask you to hold for 30 seconds because I'm gonna grab another
Okay.
beer and we're just gonna fucking grind
Okay,
on this
you
shit.
go for it.
You ready?
I'm gonna check my phone for it.
I grabbed 2 because there's a lot of shit to grind about, including the fact that there is a company close to our town. So I'm in Grand Junction, Colorado. Durango, Colorado is like an hour south of here,
Yeah.
2 hours. And they made a blood orange seltzer, which is my favorite fucking flavor of anything. And it tastes like soap. And I
Okay.
hate it. It makes me sad. So we're gonna keep grinding.
Okay.
Okay, what were you gonna complain about? Please, for the love of God,
Okay.
complain.
So
We're chasing it. We're
okay,
mad at the
so
world.
I'm mad at the world because people like take videos and post videos of Walmart like having no cashiers, like no cash registers open and stuff like that, and they have to use just self checkout, and they don't want to pay for their stuff without a discount because they're doing their own shopping and they're doing Walmart's job for them. No, Walmart has self checkouts because they are so short staffed. They're using the staffing other places. So like you can have one person watch over 20 registers instead of having one person on a register, and that way you're increasing people's happiness who actually use self checkout because they don't have to wait as long and it's just more efficient. And Walmart has a huge staffing problem, like every other place does in the fucking world right now, because it's good to have so many different stores opening up or whatever. Like it's a sign, like the economy's doing good, and everything.
But they don't pay.
Yeah, but they don't pay dick, and like the job's not hard. But like if you can't get people to stay there, you need to pay more, and they don't want to. So yeah.
I have 2 points on your self checkout stance.
Listen.
I am pro self checkout, but if I get a bunch of produce,
Oh.
I go to the
Yeah.
not self checkout because I don't like to check out like
Yeah.
fucking carrots and bananas and shit. It's just easier that someone knows what the fuck is going on. And then my father hates self checkout, and this I always giggle because he goes, "I don't fucking
Yeah.
work here. I'm not getting paid to check my shit out." That's his bullshit stance on it. But the answer to both of those is that you should have self checkout and like 2 cashiers, which is how it
Yeah.
normally is. And like if you're gonna buy alcohol or if you're gonna buy cigarettes, you have to go
Yeah.
through a cashier anyway. So that cashier is always open. So like if that solves that problem.
Yeah.
But there's not a labor shortage in the U.S. There's not a labor shortage on Earth. It's a fucking wage
Yeah.
shortage. Nobody wants to pay dick because at the top they're raking cash. But if everyone at administration took a pay cut, everyone else could make the amount of money they need to make to get paid. It's the same thing with colleges. Professors aren't getting paid what they need to get paid. Deans aren't getting paid what they need to get paid. It's all these random administrative positions that get paid through the fucking nose that don't need to exist. And those people are the ones that are making a phenomenal amount of paperwork to make it look like they have some sort of job, but they fucking don't.
Yeah.
The University of Wisconsin-Stevens that we both graduated from, that I loved, I thought all the professors were raking.
I thought so too. I
My
thought so
professor,
too.
they don't
No!
make dick. Dude, they don't make
No,
over 100K.
none of them do. Like that's why
I thought my research professor, I was with her for years. She is like one of the predominant experts in the Midwest and all these different things. 80K a year,
I mean, respect.
if not less.
80K is not bad, but like for like the amount of experience, your education, and like how good you are,
Oh my
like
God.
no.
Like 25 years of top end expertise. versus someone in a back room doing random paperwork, like accepting students or whatever. Like you could have a computer do
You
that.
can.
It's like, oh, like put appoint points to all of it, and then if they get above a certain point load, or just accept everyone.
And let them drop out and do.
That's why everyone's so anti. Right. That's why everyone's so anti-free college, because there's so many jobs associated with telling people yes or no.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Okay, so I'm gonna inform the audience here. I don't know if I had brought this statistic up before, but briefly I was like flirting with the idea of like grad school and like maybe becoming a professor. You don't have to be a fucking genius. You just have to kind of like I don't know. You just have to play the system and know what's up because like a German professor.
I've noticed this too.
Go on.
You don't need to be smart to be a PhD. You need to pick something that's dumb specific and just accept that it's not what you want.
So like.
Or hunt until you find what
Yeah.
you do want. It's not hard though. It's a lot of work, but it's not difficult. Because if you like
Yeah.
it, it's not hard. It's a ton of work, but it's not. It's 6 years and then you're
Yeah.
free.
So,
kind of thing.
anyways, my German professor said you don't even have to be smart. He's like, I know a lot of dumb people who have PhDs. He's just like, you just have to like kind of apply yourself and do it. And I was talking to my professor about it because a different professor, a history professor who I had like a really good connection with, who was amazing, super intelligent, stuff like that. And then like every day I go to her class and learn something new, which blew my mind. And anyways, I was talking to her. She's just like, yeah, don't go into higher education. Don't become a professor. I'm like, why is that? And she's like, you don't get paid for shit. You don't get sponsored. Like, all her graduate stuff was paid for because she was sponsored by a certain university. She said the starting salary for a professor in history at Stevens Point is $45,000 a year. That's $5,000 more than like what you make starting as like a normal teacher with a bachelor's degree. But you have way more debt. And like
$200,000 more a day.
and not to mention that the amount of time it took you to acquire that degree too, which you could have been using to make money elsewhere. So I was just like, oh, that really fucking sucks to hear, but I needed to hear that. And like I appreciate that she was super honest with me because as much as unless I win the lottery, I will never do that. So
I remember we
Yeah.
had this conversation because I'm currently getting my master's, and I kind of fucking got. And I don't know if I was talking to you or you had this conversation with your professor, and then we talked about this, but like most masters, it's not advanced information on a topic. It's like it's a certificate that you can work pretty hard
Yep.
in a field.
That's how I view.
That's
view
it.
the degree. It just says you did this, you dealt with some shit you didn't want to do. Here you go.
Right.
I mean, like,
And
it-
masters is like I can write a little better paper.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's. Don't get me wrong. Like, part of the reason why I would pursue something like that is because I personally get to brag about having a PhD. Like, hey, I'm a doctor, motherfucker. Like, to me, like that's. I mean, like that shouldn't be the reason behind getting a PhD, but like like it's a good pat in the back for you. Like, yeah, I did this thing. I'm okay in my field, what I chose to study. Good for me. I just now owe hundreds of $1,000s in debt. But like, it was like there's like a satisfaction. I feel like hopefully once you get it, because it separates you. Not that it really makes a difference, I guess, in the end, but you just die.
But like if you're not in like a super hard science, it doesn't
No,
make a fucking
no, I
difference.
don't. Yeah,
Like
go on.
if you're gonna get your PhD, that doesn't change anything for you. If I get my PhD in like a super hard science, it makes
Yeah.
a huge difference because it opens me up from being a researcher to the person that coordinates the entire show, and that's a $300,000 a year swing.
Yeah.
Like if I work at a pretty significant university, not even a super top end one, and do some fairly reasonable research that the government has some mild interest in, I'll
Yeah.
get fully funded. I'll get $300K a year, and everyone I work with will get 120 plus K a year, and get fucking paid, and I'll have money to do everything I want to do. But as a historian, you're gonna work at a museum or at a university, make $50K a year. It's not worth it.
Unless you sell some dope ass book that sells like hotcakes, which.
Yeah. But even then, like that's a total chance.
Yeah.
But like one of my best friends growing up, he right now is a master's in aerosolized particles, and so he's doing research on aerosolized particles
sounds very
impacting a surface. And so he's doing what particles with what surface and doing all that research. And he is getting paid through the nose, and he's got this multi-million-dollar budget, and he's a master's student. And I asked him, like, what the fuck? I'm doing something that is directly helpful to humans as a research project, and I got paid $500. That was my budget. Why do you? What's the difference between my $500 project and your $2 million project? And he looked at me and he said, my research influences how rockets land in a sandstorm.
Ah!
And I went, oh. So you're part of the military-industrial complex. Your research is related to killing brown people, so it's worth $2 million fucking dollars. It's just fucked. Even academia can't get away from it.
Yeah. Wow. I'm
But like, isn't that
this is not
fucked?
new, but I don't really have anything else to say right now.
RKO out of Norway.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you fucking shook. He wants to go to space. He wants to go to Mars. And his research is like, how do we kill more brown people? I was like, oh shit. No, I should say how to kill brown people more precisely. It's like that's all this is. Ugh.
yeah.
It's weird to think that our economy is based on exploiting people and or killing people that don't look like us. Even though we claim to love some deity that is not our color. Like Jesus was a little brown dude, no matter how you look at it. You as a historian can roll with that all you want, because that's what it is. He was born in the Middle East. He's gonna be a little brown dude. Like, what? Like,
What?
I feel like we're digging into all the sad topics. Do you have any sad topics you want to dig into?
Yeah. I love life.
Get them all out of the way in this
Huh?
podcast. You got any sad topics you want to dig
I'm
into?
kind of in a love triangle. Other than that, I can't really think of anything right now.
You're in a love
Sort of.
triangle?
Sort of, yes. So
Is it another man?
So there's another guy involved. It's my old roommate.
This podcast has a lot going on, Marcus.
I just hold on one sec here.
I will say one thing while you're kind of mid-focused. On the abortion issue, it has never made sense to me. It's a real light issue to dig into. Because the American right claims to be pro-liberty. And you want to allow people to do whatever they want to
What
do.
they say. I mean, like...
But legislating, that's what they say, is that they want to be pro-liberty. But they legislate abortion, which is objectively an individual right.
And we care about individualism.
And I'm not defending abortion as this beautiful thing. Abortion is objectively sad. Abortion is a terrible procedure that has to be done. It is objectively sad. I'm never going to be out here like, yeah, abortions are great, everyone should get one. But there's something that is not, it's necessary. The same as hysterectomy or a mammectomy or even like a fucking colonoscopy. Nobody wants these things to happen. Nobody from the outside looking in is like, oh, it's amazing that woman had to have both of her breasts removed. It's objectively sad. We should all cry every time something like that happens. No abortion is celebrated. It is sad. It is brutal. It is the death of something that could be amazing. It is sad. It's the only way to describe it. But because it is sad does not mean it is not necessary. People had to cut their legs off because of necessity, because of infection, because if they don't cut their legs off, they will die. People have to remove a variety of things, and abortion for a variety of reasons is objectively sad, but out of necessity it is necessary. So I will always be pro-choice, not because it is something that I am proud that has to happen, but because it's a society that claims to give people the choice. We have to give people the choice to decide what happens to themselves and their outcomes. I will never be happy that a single abortion happens in the U.S. I will never be happy that abortion happens in the U.S. I am the strongest. I do not understand why adoption is not a stronger force. But because I'm a man, I have no understanding of what the fuck is going on. And I accept that abortion has to happen. It is objectively sad to think that these things have to happen. But things have to happen sometimes. And they should have to happen, and they should go across safely as they can. And if we don't have a better option, they should happen safely. If I don't have a better option for removing my leg due to a terrible infection, it's going to have to get chopped off with an axe. Unless there's a better fucking option. And there should be a best option for that. It should be a medical procedure. And I'm sorry if that got kind of deep. I'm kind of emotional on that. But like that, people should be able to do things safely, whether or not they're happy or sad.
You're entirely fine. Like, that's one thing. Like,
Jesus, that was a lot.
No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
Like, I'm the same way. I probably don't sound like I have as much conviction. Actually, I can guarantee you that. But, like, who am I to say what you can and can't do with your body? Like, I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't know the emotions, the stresses, and everything. So why is me telling you what to do with your body the right thing to do? Like, not only that, but like it's just like, maybe you fuck up and you get someone pregnant. Like if you're a terrible person, you probably don't want to deal with that child anyways. So, and if you're gonna leave the person and be an asshole, like why wouldn't you just want both of you to be better off and not have the child in the first place? I don't know, like shit happens in life. That's life. Like unplanned pregnancies when you were 17 happen, and like it's embarrassing, but like you're better off. And then having a child later on, and like you said, you don't know the potential of what that child could be. You don't know what you're giving up, but at the same time, you're almost better off. I guess I don't know. Anyways, like life is complicated again.
But it's objectively sad.
No, you're right. And like I never thought about it like that. I never thought, this is such a terrible thing. Ideally, in the perfect world, it would never happen. But like it needs to be able to be performed. And I didn't think about it the way you did, but I like how you thought about it and how you stated it.
It's almost like watching watching a hyena eat an elephant. where it's just sad. But this is how things
Yeah.
work. It's how things have to work in order for things to work well. But it's so brutally sad. It's a tragedy. Truly is. But there's no way around it. It's like it's just sad.
That's just like how the world works for these
Fuck, can we talk about something else for the love of God?
things.
Holy shit. I'm like, oh.
Okay. Good.
I keep trying to stretch out of my chair to get away from it, but it's just sad.
Okay. So I'm not okay. So I could go back to what I was saying, but not quite. I'm not getting into details.
There's a bug. There's a bug.
Like,
Got the bug.
Anyways, I've decided to just explore myself. Yeah, let's call it that. And just so happens.
Are you translating explore yourself into fingers up your butt, or what are you doing here?
Myself
What's
with
going
other
on?
people. And it just so happens that I decided to shoot my
Way to avoid that.
no. Anyways, I decided to shoot my shot with some
That's a dodge.
dodge. What?
No, I accused you of sticking fingers up your butt, and you straight up dodged that shit.
Do we want to know this?
Didn't even address
Do
it.
you want to know this?
I'm just gonna ignore what you said and move on for the love of
Keegan.
God.
Check your phone and you will know the answer. No, I'm not saying that right now. So anyways, I just decided to shoot my shot. Working pretty well the last couple days because I genuinely like this person. Like I can trust them because they've had breakdowns before at work and everything, and I've just been inside and talking to them for 40 minutes. And if that's me walking out 40 minutes late, I don't care because this person's awesome and I want to help them and be part of their life. So it was super good. The last couple days I've been with them, just hanging out, and there was always so when I had my girlfriend, I met her through work, this other girl, and I was just there's always a what if question. Yeah, if I wasn't dating someone, yeah, I'd probably pursue it. Well, now.
Are you currently girlfriends with this new?
No, I'm not. That's the stigma. What?
Marcus. Are you currently? Hey,
Yes.
Marcus. Are you officially girlfriend with this new girl from
No.
the Walmart?
Not by any means. We just
Okay.
kind of
Okay, I was gonna say it'd be pretty quick. It'd be a
yeah,
couple
no, that'd be
days.
really quick. No, we just have a connection, I guess. I always enjoyed talking to her. She's just a genuine person. And then
Mm-hmm.
she told me some stuff today. So I'm kind of conflicted. I want to believe in the best because she's kind of stuck in a shitty situation, and I get it. But also at the same time, kind of disappointed because not disappointed. I'm a little upset though because I decided to shoot my shot because I like this person and I have genuine feelings towards them, and when I would hang out with that person, I would be yeah, I could definitely do this because I went on some dates before with other people. I hung out with other people, and I was just kind of yeah, really don't care. I'm not really invested in them. I am with this person, so I'm just the last half of my day has just been kind of So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want to get too specific because you guys don't need to know everything, and it's not like it's a relationship. We're just hanging out. It's not like a developed structured thing, if you will. So I need to.
I will say with my current girlfriend Katie, who's been on the podcast, it's just comfortable. It's not exciting. It's not crazy. There's nothing crazy that happened. It's just comfortable. It's just I can do this forever.
With your
And that's
is that what you're saying? Just
yeah. It's not we don't do anything crazy. She doesn't ask a lot of me. I don't ask a lot of her. And it's just oh yeah, I got shit going on. And she goes, that's nice. It's nice that you have shit going on. And she goes, I have shit going on. And I go, it's nice that you got shit going on. And then it's what do you want for dinner? It's oh, this sounds nice. It's well, I can make that. And then it's just kind of works. It's comfortable. But I think a lot of people go for, I feel like I'm on fire in my relationship, but it's like no,
No,
it's
that's not what it is.
being on fire means you're gonna burn out. Like it's there's better ways to pursue a comfortable and healthy relationship through equal effort and just
Yeah.
being comfortable. It's not it's you're supposed to be able to sleep with this person. And that's the end goal is to sleep with this person. And to sleep you have to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So that adds another constraint to your super easy decision making process, but
Yeah. And like it helps that like I know who she is. Like what because like I've worked with her, I've been there for some of my low points, she's been there for some of my low points. Like, just like connect with her, I guess. To an extent. Like obviously there's a bunch of stuff I don't know about her. And she just a bunch of stuff she doesn't know about me, but like it's nice, but like at the same time, like I'm just kind of preparing myself to get the shit into the shit shaft, just because like it's usually what happens, and I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but we'll see. I don't know. So I told her like,
I will raise this argument. To deal with some extraneous situation, some personal experience, if you're, like, say, your in laws, so from my perspective, her parents, or her growing up situation, or her living situation, is super, super, super fucked, she either needs to be able to separate herself from that, which is very difficult. So, say we were in a super fucked up situation, or like we had a great thing going, but her parents were super fucked up. If we only saw her parents once a year, twice a year, and could go, okay, this is really fucked, but we can handle this for a day. And you do that twice a year, that's
Yeah.
probably okay. Like if you can go just home for the like Christmas and
Yeah.
hang out. But if it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I need to deal with this every fucking day, it gets to be a lot. And that takes a strain. Like it's hard to be comfortable with somebody when you have all this extra baggage. So you need to carry all this extra weight. And like I have the blessing of having phenomenal parents. So in my past relationships, I've had people that haven't had awesome relationships, and even though I've really enjoyed that person, the situation hasn't been right. And it doesn't change that I really enjoyed that person, but it makes it hard when you're always dealing with something. Because you don't get to just enjoy being with that person. You're always dealing with something.
So,
And it's not your something. When you're dealing with somebody else's something, it's worse. Always. But if it's your something, it's great. It's fine. It's whatever. But to deal with somebody else's something is a lot. And it's hard on that. And so that's something to consider too for anyone out there listening. It's like, hey, if you really like a person, but it's fucking hard to like that person because they got shit going on, that doesn't mean you don't like that person. That means they got shit going on. It's hard to deal with, and that still counts, and that still holds value. It's okay to struggle with something because they got shit going on, because that's part of who they are. So I don't know who out there is listening of all of our 7 people, but like it's okay to struggle with that shit. And if you need to have an honest conversation, you should have an honest conversation. But I feel like Marcus, that's one of those things. It's like, hey, if this person can't be an adult and handle their shit and handle what they need to handle, that's part of who they are. It's hard to handle that
I
person.
mean, like it's not even a thing really. So just like take it with a grain of salt. But like, I don't know. So
Yeah, that's a very different
yeah,
situation
it's not.
thrown onto
Yeah.
that situation.
So I don't know. I just generally just stupid stuff happens. So like I'm kind of prepared for it. But like I talk to him like no matter what happens, like I'll still support it. So like it is what it is. You're still gonna be the same person to me. So just don't be an asshole, I guess, about it. I mean, like shit doesn't go your way sometimes. That's alright. But I don't know.
There's definitely a right way to handle things.
I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say, like, at least recording wise.
That's fair.
Yeah, so.
Here's a question for you, recording wise. Have you been playing any video games? What have you been doing for entertainment? You've been reading? Have you been okay on your calendar? I know you're in kind of a flux time, so it's hard to keep track of shit like that.
Yeah,
But
so, I haven't really read a lot. I tried reading the last couple days and I was like, just got enough.
reading's fucking hard.
What else I can do? I've just been playing some video games. But yeah, generally, like my whole entire life, it's just kind of like, well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been handling pretty well. I mean, I left my job. I've applied for a bunch of different positions and none of them have came through. So I'm gonna go.
Hashtag fuck Walmart. Hashtag sponsored by Target, even if we
Yeah.
ain't.
So anyways, so like I'm going back to an old factory job, which is fine. Like it's just a temporary thing. Um, I was planning on moving out of the area within the next year with someone, potentially. I even had other plans. It involved a lot of money, but
I do.
it's all right.
Hey, I have a little bit of insight on one of your applications. So I cannot say a lot of details because I'm
No.
not at liberty to say a lot of details. But you got at one point a hot tip from me to apply to a position where you would be interested in doing things, where potentially teaching as a teacher. And I told you, hey, you should apply for this. I got a hot tip. And my hot tip was like, you got a hot tip. Like, hey, you should apply. That position actually, instead of usually these positions get maybe 1 or 2 certified teachers, if not 1 or 0, you would have been of higher selection of the 0 team because it was a hot commodity. This position, instead of 0 or 1, a qualified applicants, I'll say, got 5 or 6. So it's not question of whether or not it was like, oh, we're fighting from 0 for a position. It was like it was 6 qualified candidates.
I'm not mad at that at all because that just benefits. Benefits.
When you're punching up, that's what you run into.
That benefits the kids as well. So I mean, like, it's a good thing.
Exactly. It's hard to complain about a teaching position that had a bunch of qualified applicants
but like,
versus.
It hasn't really gone my way lately, and like my whole, yeah.
It's hard though when you're applying for teaching positions. You don't have a teaching license.
Yeah, it's like when you.
It's something that school needs to take on.
Yeah, it's a
and
lot of paperwork. But like just in general, I would say my life has changed a lot. Still trying to figure out what's going on, but like
I'm pretty optimistic about it. Like I haven't really beat myself up too much. I mean, like, no.
Oh, you can't.
Like I do like allow I allowed a little bit of time. Like I allowed like a day, maybe, just to like pout around after my girlfriend broke up with me, and I'm like, okay, pouting around is not going to change my life, and it's not going to make my life any better. So I need to find a way to move on. Do it, and that's what I've been doing. So, for the most part, there's a couple thoughts here and there, but we'll have that. So,
Hey, I'm gonna go take a quick whiz, and then I'm gonna come back and totally change the topic to weightlifting.
Okay.
So I'll be right back. Did you say anything during that
No.
period, or did you just sit
I
awkwardly
sat there
silent?
awkwardly silent because the person who I'm talking to has to deal with a creep.
On your damn, you
I
and that
know,
damn
sorry,
phone.
women don't help. But she's like, yeah, there's a creepy dude outside, and we're just kind of waiting.
It doesn't.
No, it's not justifiable.
It doesn't help. That's like fucking 11
No,
there, dude. Like it's. We're different. We're
yeah,
different time zones now. I'm way cooler because
yeah.
I'm a different time zone. But okay, we're looking at weight room plans, lifting plans. So Marcus, I talked to Max about this, and he was saying, as long as you're giving a good effort, you're gonna make gains. But me, as someone who hasn't changed their bench press max since
What the fuck?
2016,
All right.
due to a variety of reasons, including a
There we
blown out
go.
shoulder. So if you're gonna talk shit, you can eat my ass. Including you, Father, which I know you're listening. Let me show it.
It's just going off right now.
So we got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday plan. We got a 4 days a week plan, 3 days off in a row, which isn't perfect, but due to rugby being mostly a Saturday activity, it's kind of primed for that. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we're doing legs. We're looking starting at a 3x5 kind of thing, 3x8, depending on the activity. Marcus can see we got bench 3x5, squat 3x5, glute ham, killer exercise 3x8, leg extension 3x10 just to finish off that quad, lunge 3x10 just to fuck that shit up, and then we alternate abs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do a inline ab, so like a crunch type versus like a Russian twist type and oblique ab. Because most activities require both, but when you're doing inline, you don't really use oblique. When you're doing oblique, you don't really use inline. So it's nice to alternate. That allows you to do abs every day. But as a theme through this activity, we're going up so we got 6 weeks of planning. During the first 3 weeks, we go from 3x5 to about 4x6 to 5x10, which, in case you didn't know, blows donkey cock down to back to a 3x5 to a 3x2 to a 2x1. And the goal of this planning, and we cover all sorts of shit. We do upright rows, we do fucking deadlifts, we do all sorts of shit. It's all color coded. Marcus can see how nice it is. But the plan, the goal is to either A, do this plan and keep repeating this plan to keep the body in shock so it never adjusts, so we're always sore, so we're always gaining. But there's a lot of research behind being sore is not an advantage. So this would allow us to find an optimal range. So instead of doing maybe 3x5, 4x6, 5x10, 3x5, 3x2, 3x1, 2x1, maybe doing 3x5s and 4x6s, or 4x6s and 5x10s. Whatever we find helps us the most towards what we want as our fitness goals. And so that's why it's hard to identify this plan as either a positive or negative, because it kind of covers both, and it's like, where you at in this plan, what feels good? Because I've personally been lifting with the 3x5 for forever, but I haven't really made a ton of gains, but I've always been really dumb strong. So I don't know if I need to go up in reps, if I need to go down in reps. Because I feel like for playing rugby, going up in reps would be advantageous, because it'd help me through the game. But going down in reps would help me in my personal goals towards benching 300 pounds. So it's
I mean, like, I know Max told me 5x10 and like pyramid up for a couple weeks, like 3 to 4, and do like 5 sets of 5, and then do like 3 sets of 3 or 5 sets of 3, something like that for a couple weeks, and then max, and then redo it.
I feel like a 6-week cycle is about right. Like, I feel like once you get out into a 12-week cycle, you're really devoted into that plan. But I feel like a 6 week cycle, you can run pretty
Yeah.
fast and lose.
I think
So
me and Joe,
that's his thing
yeah,
too.
probably. Me and Joe are doing doubles tomorrow, so on bench.
We're running 2 for 2s kind of thing.
3 sets of 2.
Mm. I feel like the 3 sets of 2 is really kind of the 3 sets. I feel like it's kind of standard. I feel like 3 sets of 5 is stereotypically the standard. But I feel like once I was doing some reading, and what they were saying was, as you begin to outpace 3 sets of 5, you shouldn't do 3 sets of 6, but you should do 4 or 5 sets of 5. You should be adding volume in that direction, not in individual effort direction.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You should be adding to your sets, not to your reps.
That makes sense.
Because 4 sets of 5 from a lifting standpoint is way worse than 3 sets of 6 or even 3 sets of 7. Like that fourth set fucking blows. What I need to do some research on though is training to failure, because I've always trained to failure. That's been my thing. Is like if I'm not actively failing out of my last rep or two, I'm not getting where I need to be. But my Katie does not like training to failure. She'll actively I don't know if her nerve net can't handle it, if she doesn't handle it in her head or what, but she cannot train to failure in the way that I can train to failure. So it's things we gotta figure out where that's at to make this work.
Okay.
So we'll see. I would love to get some comments about train to failure, about where those options are. So, because like train to failure, it fucking sucks. But if that's what you're used to, that's what you're used to.
I mean, like I've heard some things
We'll see,
where
though.
you're not supposed to, but like there's a lot of things that kind of like conflict against each other. So if that makes sense.
Because I've read that you're not supposed to train to failure because it's bad for you, and then I've read other things where it's like if you want max gains, if you want to make the most gains you can per your time, you should be training to failure. Because in theory, then you'd be training past 100%. So that's why I was like, well, do I train to 99 or do I train to 101? It's like, well, if I want to maximize my gains, in theory, I train to 101, but if that doesn't work, I should train to 99. But it's harder to find 99 than 101.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm pretty good between like the 5 to the 8 micro range. I've noticed that.
That's your goal
No,
range?
like I just like that's what I excel at. I'm good at that. And then like when I do like triples, I kind of struggle with it. At least I feel like I should. Like I don't know. So.
See, I rock freaking 5s. I can kill 5s. That's my number, is 5. And if I'm not doing 5, I'm doing 1. And I can rock 1s pretty good, but I haven't been able to break fucking 275. I just haven't been able to do it on my bench. I don't know if it's a brain thing. I don't know if I need to get yelled at. I don't know if I need to go down a weight. I don't need to go up a weight. But like, I can do 270 twice, but I can't do 275 once. So it's like, fuck.
That
dude,
doesn't.
what the hell?
That is weird.
But it's been like that for years. I want to break 300 just as like a goal. Because like a 300-pound bench for where I'm at, I'm like 160, 170.
That's pretty good.
That's a damn good bench. It's not world class for any fucking steps, but like it's a fucking good bench to break 300. And
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I blew up my
Yeah,
shoulder,
that
like I
doesn't-
had massive shoulder surgery, but I'm back up there. Like I'm at 265 still.
Yeah, that's good.
I straight did 265, just bump did it. So We'll see. What I should really focus on is my fucking deadlift and just do bench in the meantime. Because my deadlift should be dumb. But I just haven't pulled that heavy. I need a good belt though, because I got a good belt. I got a cardio, but it's like a size too big.
Okay.
So when I push against it on a squat, it's all right because I can load my frame a little better. But on the deadlift, I just can't pull against it that hard. So it's like, well, but then do I eat a fuck ton more and try and add that extra 5 pounds that I need, or do I just go on Amazon and buy the $35 belt that'll fit until I get big enough that I can use the cardio to lift that 500 pound? Because like my deadlift's dumb, so it's
Wear a
like
sweatshirt.
my
Wear a
my what? Wear a sweatshirt? It's not enough. I'm like, I would be wearing probably 2 sweatshirts because when I got back into lifting hard and like chasing weight and watching my diet a little bit, I lost like fucking 15 pounds because I was fat off my shoulder surgery. So I lost a bunch of weight. So that cardio's a full size and a half too big, even at the smallest. So like I had to crank that shit to the smallest just to get it on for a squat. And so I'm probably 2 sizes too small for a deadlift. So I would be wearing 2-3 sweatshirts, and at that point it's like, well,
That's a little much. Yeah.
I'm like 10 pounds shy through the abs for that. So I'm doing a lot of abs trying to build that so I can get out there and reach it. But it's hard to just add that much ab to fucking reach your belt. Because like I can just pull 300. I think that's easy. I can pull 350. That's easy. I can pull 375. That's easy. But when it gets to 4 plates, when you break that 4 barrier, it's like you need a belt. You need a belt and you need the right shit. And like I start needing straps because I blew up my wrists. Like I blew up my wrist playing football in high school, and that's like I need straps and I need fucking belts to pull much over 4. I can pull 385 all day. Like I can do working sets of 385, but to pull over 4, to pull closer to 5 where I need to get my 1,000-pound mark that I want, it's like I'm gonna need a good belt that can hold me in position. So it's like, well, do I buy the $35 one or do I fucking grow? But to grow, I need to add 15, 20 pounds to a frame that's never added weight.
I don't know. I mean, like, it is only $35. It could be worse. So.
And Max is freaking the fuck out right now because he's like, just drive your head, get different shoes, it'll
No
be
shoes
fine.
at all.
Quit being a bitch. Like, I have a nice belt and I want to use it. But like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't do you any good if you can't wear it.
I did 5 sets of 10 with that thing. That was like digging into me all sorts of spots. It's like, but it's a cheap lever belt off of Amazon going to be better. The 35, it'll fit, but is it going to be better?
I could not. Oh my god, could not answer that question.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I've pulled with the right belt and the right situation. I've pulled over 5. I've pulled 505 and 495 for reps kind of thing. But the question is, can I get out there with nobody yelling at me? And this gym is weird too. Like it's a combination of people that really know what the fuck is going on and no fucking clue. So it's weird to get out there because you have no support.
Yeah.
It's just like, can I solo pull 500 fucking pounds with the wrong belt, or do I get the right belt but the wrong? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I feel right now I could walk out there and pull 450 pretty easily.
It's not bad.
Yeah. But like, I should be pulling closer to 5. Like I can pull 5, and I was pulling I was pulling sumo too, and like those felt good. So I haven't pulled heavy sumo, but like I could just work in sumo low and just feeling it good. Like I could pull some dead. I get good leverage for sumo too. So it's hard to say. You're probably a fucking conventional guy because you got short
No,
arms.
I
but
do sumo because Gary advised. Yeah,
You do sumo?
Gary advised me to, so that's what I do. I haven't done deadlifts lately because my back and yeah, I'm just always bad at deadlifts. So I just have to be more consistent, but I'm not. So
You gotta do them if you're even gonna do them light. You gotta do them every time. Like, I think we have them planned for once a week. Like I think we do them Thursdays or something, or like Wednesdays or whatever. But you have to do them once a week because you have all those little muscles in your back that you have to strengthen. And if you're not gonna do deadlifts, you have to add like those lower back extensions to your
I do those. I kind of have to.
fucking
So
to your, but those help a ton. Where it's either you're doing on the glute ham machine, you're doing from low where you drop down to parallel, or there's some machines where it's like at a 45 where you go from low to 45, and some of those are nice, but it's not a glute ham, but it's an all lower back thing. And sometimes you just gotta do those, and it's deadlifting is fucking hard on a soul. It's hard on a body. If you want to get faster, you should hang clean or power clean. But if you're gonna fucking deadlift to be a psychopath and be stronger than the rest of humanity, you gotta deadlift to be a psychopath. So it's hard to say.
do you have anything else to say?
Me and my best friend from earlier, who was doing the rocket research, decided that in the game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, we were going to become the best of the best. And we were playing the other day, and I fucking blew dog shit. So instead of accepting that I myself am bad and need to improve, I bought a better mouse. So I paid $60 on a small device that detects where my hand goes. So if you want to make fun of me, you can make fun of me for that.
Nerd.
But I stand by the rest of my lefty shit that I said in this podcast.
There you go.
So,
The important stuff,
yeah,
arguably.
the important stuff. Yeah, but I've been using the mouse I currently have. I got for $12. Like I watched a video and they're like, "This is the best $12 mouse you can get." So I got it. It's been a damn good mouse. Like for $12, this thing is fucking killer. I don't know what it's called. Looking at the bottom, it has a T7 on it. It was $12. So I'm sure if you look up best $12 mouse, I think it's a Titan something. But I got a Death Adder V2. It has 8 buttons on it, and it's gonna make me a pro. So be ready for that shit. But Marcus, you got any updates? Anything the people should know about?
No, I don't.
Sounds good. The only update I will add is that my grad classes for the semester start tomorrow. I've already completed a little bit, but it is going to be a hell of a semester. And Katie and I, the girlfriend, considered adding what David Attia from multiple podcasting added. One of his things is that he would pull a all-nighter once a week. Because for a variety of reasons, he would have to pull an all-nighter during his work. So it was something like to be able to pull an all-nighter was part of his work. So I might be adding that to my schedule. I'll keep you in the loop for that. I think I would fucking hate that because I'm a sucker for sleep. But I think if I could conquer that, I think I would really get on the next step in becoming hyper productive.
We also didn't talk about horse dewormer and Joe Rogan, but that's okay. Everyone knows about that.
Ivermectin was only approved in 2015 for the use in humans to remove lice and roundworms, which is a very specific type of parasitic infection. It is not approved to fight any viral infections such as the COVID-19, and it will cause you to shed all of your intestinal lining, and it will damage your ocular nerve, causing reduced ability to see things, including blindness. So do not fucking eat horse dewormer. If you're seeing this from here, for the love of God, look at the CDC. They've already said like 80 things. Don't fucking eat that shit. The dosing in horses is different. The dosing in humans is different. It's topical in humans, which is very common for an anti-eukaryotic cell antibiotic, such as fucking ivermectin. It's not even ivermectin in humans. Avermectin. It's fucking different. For the love of God, get vaccinated. Jesus Christ. Other than that, unfollow some dumb shit and tell them to fuck off and leave hateful comments on everybody else. But like the only good podcast on the fucking YouTube. This is the longest podcast we've done.
Over 2 hours.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, we have Audacity
But-
here. Oh no, it's just short. That's okay.
We have to talk for 4 minutes, Marcus. Marcus, how long is your wiener?
Incredibly average.
If you had to describe your butthole, I got
What's
a joke
that?
for you. This might cover it. Plane crashes into a deserted island. Some survivors come out. 3 survivors come out. They run into the local tribe. And the tribe looks at them and says, the tribal captain specifically, he looks at them and says, hey, you need to go out. You need to find 10 pieces of fruit. And if you can, you just find 10 pieces of fruit. So they go out. First guy finds 10 apples. He approaches the captain. The captain says, hey, you need to shove them up your butt. And you cannot make a face while you do so. If you get all 10 up your butt, you will live. And you will survive and you'll live a happy thing. So apple guy gets maybe 5 or 6 apples in. He's a trooper. Makes a face. They kill him. So there's 2 survivors left. The third survivor is a thinker. And he watches Mr. Appleman. And he sees what they say and he hears them and he goes, in his infinite wisdom, he finds blueberries. There's all sorts of blueberries, so he picks 10 blueberries and he goes up to the captain, or the tribal leader. He goes, I'm ready to take your challenge. And the tribal leader looks at him and says, you need to shove these 10 blueberries up your butt. And then if you make no face, you'll win. And this guy's like, I got blueberries. This is the smallest fruit I could find. I'm winning this. He gets 9 blueberries in. He's about to put the 10 blueberry in. He looks over and sees the last survivor. And he starts laughing. And he loses. The tribal captain looks at him. Goes, what the fuck, dude? Like, you had the easiest shit. Like, this is, of all the things, you game the game. Like, what are you going to win? Why did you lose? The survivor looks at the captain, dead in the eyes. Looks at him and goes, the last guy picked pineapples.
That made me think of little Nicky. They stick a pineapple up Hitler's ass.
It's a classic joke. You can hate me all you want. Everyone out there, you can hate me all you want. Pineapple up the butt is bad news. It's bad news. That's a classic joke. You can.
When you said fruits.
Have you ever heard the Mark Normand Professor of Logic joke?
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So zone out for a sec. Okay, we're going to turn. And we're return back. Okay. So I'm telling you. So I just moved in. I got a new neighbor. So I'm out there hanging out with the dog, picking up dog shit, all the shit, whatever the fuck. I'm talking to this new neighbor, and he tells me he's a professor of logic at the local college, at the university. He's the guy. He's Professor of Logic. And I talked to him. I'm like, what the hell does it mean? What's it mean to be a professor of logic? It's a professor of logic's just shit. What's it mean to be a professor of logic? So he looks at me and he goes, hey, do you have a doghouse? Oh yeah, you got a doghouse. It means you got a dog. Okay, that makes sense. So you got a dog. That means you got kids. Kids love dogs. So you got kids. Okay, yeah, I got kids. So I got a doghouse. I got a dog. I got a dog. I got kids. That makes logical sense. It's good to. So it means you got kids. It means you got a wife. It means okay. So I got a wife. Okay. So I talked to this professor of logic. He tells me about all he does. He's, well, you got a doghouse, so you got a dog, or you got a dog, you got kids, you got a wife. Okay. So I'm standing there, and I go, oh, that's pretty great. And I was like, oh, I'll see you later. We're neighbors. We'll talk a lot. Okay, whatever. Let's go to the bar that night. I'm talking. Run into a guy, and I tell him, hey, I got a new neighbor. And he says, oh, what's your neighbor do for work? It's like, oh, he's a professor of logic at the local college. He's a professor of logic. He's a great smart guy. Oh, okay. What the fuck does it mean to be a professor of logic? He goes, oh. So I'll explain. I don't really know how to explain it, but I can tell you through examples. So I asked the guy, hey, you got a doghouse? Marcus, you got a doghouse?
Yes. Well,
okay, so you got a doghouse, you got kids, so you got a wife. Okay, but say you didn't have a doghouse. When you say you didn't have a doghouse?
don't have a doghouse. I have a cat.
You're fucking gay.
Takes one to know one.
It's the only response to that. But for anyone that wants actual comedic presentation, I would recommend. It's not Mark Norman. Mark Norman's different. It's Norm MacDonald.
Oh my God! Come on.
It's Mark Norman versus Norm MacDonald. You can eat my ass, okay? Like that's the same fucking name but backwards.
Oh.
It'll be linked. It'll be linked in the fucking description. Because I found the video already. It's 4 minutes long, and it's one of the best jokes ever told.
I can see his.
And if you want to hate on me, you're gonna hate on my presentation, but you cannot hate on the joke.
I can
It's
see
a perfect joke.
doing that now. So, thank you.
To be fair, he has something that works a little better along with it instead of saying, yes, I have a doghouse. Because, Marcus, I know where you live. You do not have a fucking doghouse, you fucking liar. But it's fine. I'm not crabby.
Okay. Anyways, unsubscribe.
Either way, leave some hateful comments. Fuck that other guy. Peace be with you. All love. Praise be. Thank you so much for listening. We really don't deserve any views, so the fact that we have more than 0 is a win. But I want to say thank you, everyone out there. And yeah, this was probably the most close podcast we've had. It's like it was kind of on the nose for most of the time. We covered a lot of topics. Yes. Okay, thank you, bye. We're ending on Marcus's grunt. Okay, bye.